When I first started lifting, I thought building muscle was impossible. It took way too much time, effort, and brain power I simply did not have. But 5 years later, I figured out how to do it the easy way, following the minimum effective approach. The science-backed way to do the least while still seeing progress. In 7 simple steps, I'll break down exactly how you can build muscle doing the bare minimum, so you can be lazy and still see results. Step 1. Lift weights. There are an infinite number of ways to build muscle. Bands, bodyweight exercises, follow-along YouTube videos, that one workout you saw when you were deep in your midnight doom scroll on Instagram, and most of them are viable ways to do it. But they're not the easiest. Take bodyweight exercise for example. Yes, you'll build muscle at the start, but as time goes on, it becomes much harder to progress effectively. You typically need to have a better understanding of how your muscles work from the outset in order to manipulate the resistance of each exercise to keep growing over time. Bodyweight training can absolutely build muscle when consistently taken close to failure, but free weights and machines make progression simpler and much more measurable. With weights, you simply need to load up the machine or the bar and progressively add more load over time. That's it. Step 2. Build and follow a smart program. If your program is solid going into the gym, you don't need to overthink what you're doing on a daily basis. You simply show up a few times a week and follow it. My main point here is just to pick any split that you think you'll enjoy, whether that's push-pull legs, upper lower, or a full body split. Don't nitpick over training a muscle group once or 3 times per week to start out. It doesn't really matter too much as long as your total weekly volume is matched. Just aim to train each muscle group around 1 to 3 times per week and build your programs around compound or multi-joint exercises. Those exercises that train multiple muscle groups at once, so ones like squats, deadlifts, or bench press. Research has suggested that these types of exercises are more time efficient for improving strength and muscle growth compared to single joint or isolation movements alone. This is because a multi-joint exercise allows you to train multiple exercises at once, so you can hit more muscle groups doing fewer exercises in your sessions. Isolation movements, of course, still hold value, but we're being lazy here. So keep mainly to your compound movements and use isolation to supplement, not build the foundation of your routine. To make this as easy as possible, simply Google the split you think you'll like the look of or the one you think will be able to slot into your schedule the most seamlessly, and pick a pre-made one that's free online. I do also have pre-made plans on my website, which I'll link below for any of you guys interested, but really don't overthink it. Just pick one, start, and progress on that routine over time. Step 3. Do the most, doing the least. Believe it or not, muscle growth isn't about doing as much as humanly possible. It's simply about doing enough of the right stuff that you can manage. Following this logic, we want to find the sweet spot between doing enough to grow without wasting any of our time. Thankfully for us, research shows you don't need to do insanely long sessions to build muscle. You just need to train hard and reach your minimum effective weekly training volume. A 2020 meta-analysis found that one hard set of 6 to 12 reps performed 2 to 3 times per week can significantly increase 1 rep max strength in trained individuals when those sets were taken close to failure. Doing more sets, of course, in general does tend to enhance your results, but those results taper quickly. Moving from 1 set of an exercise to 3 sets provides the most benefit, but beyond that, your gains are smaller. It seems that the most efficient range for hypertrophy is doing around 4 to 10 sets per muscle group per week, distributed however best fits your schedule. Both light and heavy loads build muscle if you train near failure, but heavier loads within that 6 to 12 rep range are typically more time efficient and effective for strength gains. When we're using heavier loads, stopping around 1 to 2 reps shy of failure seems to be enough with less fatigue. The key to whatever you choose to do is simply to apply progressive overload over time, gradually increasing the weight, reps, or intensity within each of your sets. In short, don't do more, just do better. Focus on your intensity within each set and just make sure you do enough weekly volume to grow. Step 4. Do exercise-specific warm-ups. It's somehow become a trend online to spend half of your workout just warming up. You'll see some routines online that last longer than the actual workout itself, yet most of them aren't supported by the research to improve either muscle growth or performance. Current evidence actually shows that static stretching before strength training actually decreases strength and power output by anywhere between 2 to 22%. When it does come to warming up, research comparing general warm-ups like light cardio or cycling to more specific exercise warm-ups like practicing your exercise with lighter weight shows that the exercise-specific approach leads to greater power outputs. However, there is some evidence for dynamic stretching before you work out, so if you do want to put that in your routine, just keep them short and specific to the exercise you're doing. So we'll skip the elaborate pre-lift routines and simply focus on a few light sets of the given movement you're about to do to warm up for the working sets you're about to perform. Step 5. Eat your protein. You can build muscle with just resistance training, but hitting your protein makes it way easier. You don't need to track obsessively here, but if you do eat a solid source with each meal, you'll naturally land within your range. Simply aim for around 100 to 200 grams of your chosen protein source, such as Greek yogurt, chicken, mince, or tofu if you're veggie. Do that 3 to 4 times a day and you'll hit at least 100 grams of protein very easily. A high protein diet also seems to increase the release of GLP-1 or CCK, both of which are gut hormones that promote the feeling of fullness after eating. This may in turn help us stick to our calorie deficits or our nutrition goals and help us lose weight or build that muscle in the long run. So really increasing your protein intake makes life a lot easier across the board for very little sacrifice. That is all you need to do with your nutrition to start. Do not overcomplicate it. Step 6. Rest. To build muscle, you need to spend time doing nothing. Literally nothing. This time of nothing is where your body can adapt and restore, so by the time you come to lift again, you're in peak condition to progress. Specifically, you need to be prioritizing your sleep. Although long-term studies on sleep deprivation are few and far between, usually from, well, ethical and an adherence point of view from the participants, short-term research provides a trend. After a few days of significantly reduced sleep, both physical performance and mental well-being begin to decline. Participants report increased fatigue, lower motivation, and reduced reaction times in comparison to those who are getting a full night's sleep. Also, sleep seems to play a role on muscle growth from a weight loss point of view. Research has shown that when calories are controlled, weight loss between groups sleeping either 5.5 hours per night or 8.5 hours per night is similar. However, those in the reduced sleep condition tend to lose a greater proportion of their lean mass compared to fat mass. Reduced sleep also increased markers of hunger, disrupted appetite regulating hormones, and slightly lowered resting metabolic rate. All variables that make maintaining your calorie deficit much harder. This doesn't mean that you need to start sleeping 12 hours a night, just slowly aim to increase the amount you sleep and just get enough quality sleep for you. Step 7. Time. This is every jacked lazy girl's secret. You don't need to do everything in order to build muscle, you just need to do something long enough for it to work. Consistency compounds. The results come from repeating the minimum effective habits, training, protein, and sleep week to week. Let me know down below if you guys found this video helpful or if you have other lazy habits that can help us build muscle. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're down there and join us Pookies. Hopefully I will catch you guys in my next one.